We are on with Health Month, and joining me in the studio today is Andy Taylor from Anything Technical on New Road in Kendal. Andy, we're talking about the different types of insoles, the custom-made insoles that you do, and how important they are. I think it was when you guys first moved into Sandow House in Kendal on the New Road, Lakeland Radio popped along, and we sort of had a bit of an open evening there, and we were checking out different things. You have a very unique way of checking people's feet and what sort of insoles they need, and I just wondered if you could just sort of try and explain that to us as well, because it amazed me how easy it was that you sort of check this out. You've got like a little sort of perspex sheet with a glass and a mirror underneath, haven't you, or something? We have what's called a podoscope, which is a piece of perspex, and there's a reflective mirror underneath. Right. And very simply, just so we can look at people's posture, you stand on that, and it shows you where the weight's going through your foot, which we can assess it as to what problems that might lead to. Okay. And then the way we make an insole is we have rubberized bags working with a vacuum pump, and we suck the air out so it's semi-rigid. We let the people sink into the sand. It's a bit like sinking into wet sand on the beach. Okay. We then lift your toes up for most people who collapse inwards, most people who pronate. We have a ways of putting your feet in the right position, and then we make a mold of your foot that way. While we're doing that, we then warm the insole in a special heating device, and the warmed insole goes into the mold that we've made, and then you stand back on it. So the whole process is very simple. It generally takes somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. A price for a pair of insoles is roughly £80, which compared to most medical orthotics is cheap. They generally vary from £300 to sometimes up to £1,000. Wow. And you can have them made there and then. Right, okay. We're also now getting lots of referrals from lots of different medical divisions, from physios, podiatrists, reflexologists, chiropractors, local doctors, the hospitals. They're sending people to us because they know just how good and how simple the process is. And you're saying that to me that it's not just people in the local area that are doing this now, it's people coming from miles around to come to see you. They are. We have people coming from, and again, no exaggeration, from all over the country. Yeah. We occasionally get holiday makers who are here only for a week or so. They hear about us, they have a pair made, and then quite often when they're in the area again, they'll call in. Yeah, yeah. So it is spreading far and wide. So if people at home listening to this today, they want to know whether they are a pronator or a supinator, just explain those two for us. Yeah, two fairly common terms. The most common is people who pronate. Okay. And that's where people collapse towards the inside. Lots of people call it a flat foot, but it's generally a foot where the ankle's collapsing towards the inside, and then your arch naturally drops with it. And a supinator is someone who's the opposite, someone who leans out towards the outside of their feet. Right. And a supinator tends to have a fairly high internal arch. And you can tell all of this by the people standing on the perspex, on the piece of perspex in your shop? You can generally tell just by looking at how someone stands on the ground in bare feet. Right, okay. So are you at home a pronator or are you a supinator? Try it out now, and we'll come back and talk more with Andy in just a few moments' time.